Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile, answer your questions live. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, just ask me in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. So guys, today we are having a all of a sudden busy news day. I will admit, I was like, man, this week has not been that big in tech news, and then all of a sudden, we just got a bunch of news that flooded in. The top stories are actually of just within less than one day. So, very happy for that. If we do have a slow news week because of all the events going on in tech next week, I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything next week. Now, of course, I always answer any questions you guys have on the channel, but if you guys actually want to, we'll have like a Twitter and a YouTube. In the YouTube community, there's a section where I'll leave an Ask Me Anything thing. If we're going to do that, if it is a slow week, I'll post it next Saturday. So you guys have 2 days to ask your questions. So stay tuned for that. All right, but since we did pick up a lot of news coverage just in the past day, let's get into it. And one of these I'm really excited about, and I think another one is going to be a whole lot of people getting really excited for. Okay, so the first one is the Galaxy Buds Bean. Now, I was like, what do you mean by bean? And it's because these are really different looking, and I like it than any other device we've seen. It's kind of like a hearing aid look more so, I would have to say, akin to, but it's a very flat part that goes actually inside your ear. So it's going to be interesting because, of course, that has to adapt to a lot of different ear styles. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm very interested to see how. So nothing that comes out of your ear, it's going to be flat for the most part. I really want to know what this is. The only time I've seen things similar to this have been more of like a sleeping thing in terms of how it was. So this is a better look at it, so you can see it's really there. Now, also the interesting thing is, I really feel like this can use bone conducting as well in terms of clarity for talking. That would improve talking a great deal, actually. That is one thing that I will say that we haven't really seen from Samsung is too good of noise canceling through phone calls. I don't really think any earbuds do it perfectly. The AirPods Pro are one of the better ones. But even like the Sonys and the Jabras, the ones that I think are the best ones, are good. I think the Jabra and the iPhone ones are currently the top two. The 75Ts did a much better job than the 65Ts did. But it's not where it needs to be. Now, if we throw bone conducting in there though, it could actually get better. Now, you also have a lot of mics, it looks like. It even looks like you have a button press right over here. So I'm very interested to see with these different mics placements how it's going to go overall. But it's a very unique looking design. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. Are you really that interested in it? Do you guys think they're going to be that good of a quality? I'm really kind of curious to see what you guys think and if these are really the ones we should be looking forward to. Now, of course, this would probably come out with the Note 20, but again, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it would be really... I think it's very interesting looking. I'm very intrigued by it, and I would love to see it in practice. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, we have a total of 3 mics, it looks like. Each hole should be a mic, so total 3 holes, so hopefully that would be better noise canceling. But we'll have to wait and see, because if it's in your ear, it has to go off of bone conduction, because you really don't have that good of a pickup from your speaking to that. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, now the other big news that was just revealed was a iPhone render of how the new camera design will be, and this is it. So it's still going to have the triple camera setup, but with a huge LiDAR sensor. Now, we have seen the LiDAR sensor already appear for Apple in their latest iPads. So I think this is very possible, and I think this is leading up to their augmented reality glasses that will come out next year, most likely. If all goes according to plan, obviously everything could change because of this year. But if it does, this is really interesting, guys, because I am excited at the prospect that this could offer for augmented reality. It was so funny because I was watching WrestleMania today, and basically on that show, they have augmented reality effects that are just floating in the sky. And my daughter asked me, how do they have those if this is live? And I'm like, oh, it's just augmented reality. And she's like, how can they do that if it's live, though? She didn't understand. So like I showed her an augmented reality app, which was like a special effects app. So I had like, I think it was a meteor or like a satellite crash in our living room. And it was just augmented reality. It was taking what was there. It did it on, it was on top of the desk that I was on, and it crashed into there, and it showed her. I'm like, this is augmented reality. So I kind of explained to her what it was. So the idea behind this, of course, is that taking wearables to the next step. And unfortunately, it looks like Google, who was long in the front run of this, is going to lose out big time, because if Apple comes out with these glasses, then Android itself will be playing catch up in the form of Google and Samsung, when again, Google was first to this years ago, but they gave up on it. They kind of just stopped. It was kind of like with Sony. Sony was the first to smartwatches, but the one who brought it mainstream was really Samsung. And then when Apple did it, it really kind of went global. So it really was a trickle effect, but most people forget that Sony was actually one of the first ones that really created the smartwatch. It was way before, like years before, Samsung came out with their first Gear, and then Apple came out with theirs. So it's a real big, interesting thing. And you guys know I love my focals. I'm about to start wearing them again because I'm going to take my contacts out for this week. So I'll be wearing my glasses again. And that is one really big thing that I cannot give enough credit to Let's moving forward, because I truly do believe in the next 10 years, smartphones will be more of the past, and we will be going to augmented reality glasses replacing smartphones entirely. I think they're going to be an accessory, much like a smartwatch in the beginning. But if you remember, 10 years ago, we really didn't have the smartphones that we have now. I mean, the iPhone was introduced in 2008, and then 2009 was Android. So it really wasn't what we knew today. And so much has changed in terms of what we can do. And I think that's only going to continue to grow. So yeah. All right. In other news, it is looking like Foxconn is saying that, although this won't be like it, this is an earlier render, obviously, it does look like 5G iPhones are still on course to be before the end of this year, around the holidays. So as of now, Foxconn is pretty much telling us that we can expect a November launch instead of a September or October launch for iPhones. I definitely believe this. If Apple does release possibly an iPhone 12 that is non-5G, which I think is smart of them to do so they don't make the same mistake Samsung did and start off at $1,000 price point. If they make an iPhone 12 that is $800, I think that's great. Then do the iPhone Pros, start those off at 5G at $1,000 and up, and then you're going to be a much better price point. And I think Apple will do much better with price in 5G models and force the industry to go lower price point. This is pretty much what we expected, even a little bit further back maybe. I thought we could still see an October launch, but I'm looking at more of an October announcement and a November launch now that this is being said by Foxconn themselves. Oh, by the way, for all the iPhone users, it does also look like there will not be a smaller notch or a USB-C. Sorry, maybe next year, but again, don't we always say that every year? In other news, YouTube is starting shorts, which are going to be to compete with TikTok. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the short form stuff. I didn't like it with Vine. I didn't like it with, stories, and I'm not a big fan of TikTok either. I did my first Instagram story recently, and it was just to basically test something out. So overall, it really was something that I was just like, okay, that's cool. I think it is needed for YouTube. I think YouTube needs to kind of do what Instagram did with Snapchat, and that is basically bury their competition by just using the same thing that they do and do it better. Instagram, I do believe, does do everything better than Snapchat, including their stories, because they didn't neglect Android as much as Snapchat did. And then we go to the Galaxy Fold concept, and all I can say is I really love the idea of this. Go ahead and check out this video, Samsung Galaxy Note Fold introduction, and he not only shows you what his thoughts were on it, but also the entire breakdown of how he made the video. So it's really cool, and I want this so bad. Hopefully it is true, and we do get this, because I think the Fold Note, or the Note Fold, would be a big seller. There still will be a regular Note, but I definitely think it would do a lot better this time around. And I think we have more of a chance of seeing this at 1,500, at the most 1,600, with all the latest specs, except for the camera wise. I don't think it'll have a 108 megapixel camera. It might have 64, but I would definitely be excited for this, and I hope they make the screen bigger. I want at least an 8.5 to 8.9 inch display. I really want the screen inside to be bigger and the screen outside to be bigger while we're at it. I think we're kind of over the higher price payment that we made with the first one, and I think Samsung needs to sell more, so I think they're going to consider that price point a lot more this time around. And this was a big topic last week. A lot of people were asking me about the latest Galaxy S20 update, because a lot of YouTubers, a lot of influencers basically thought that the updates we were getting were the ones that updated the camera. The truth is, they did not improve the camera whatsoever. I actually posted this on Twitter and on Instagram that these updates had nothing to do with the camera. They were security patch updates for the most part, pretty much. So this one, however, is rolling out right now on the unlocked or international versions, and we're going to start seeing them more and more. And this one actually tells you that it does improve the camera performance. So these are going to be the first ones that actually do it. And again, all the ones that were released over the past weeks are not those. So this is going to be the one that actually improves it. I haven't gotten it yet on my device. We'll see if it actually does change, but this was a big thing that was going around, and people were asking me, oh, have you noticed a difference, or have you seen an improvement? Again, that was nothing improved. This will improve it. And even I know there's some of you who have the S20 and that say your photos are fine with the Ultra. This will still improve it even more so you're going to like it even better. Then some other headphones have just leaked again, actually. So we got a first leak a couple of weeks ago with the Pixel Buds, and now we are getting the second leak. The first one was on B&H by the name, and now we get the entire image. So we know they're going to be $179, which hopefully they have noise canceling for that price point. But you're also going to get them in multiple colors. You're going to have that translator feature that Google really has done very well at. But yeah, so that's going to be it. They're going to come in 4 colors. You're going to have orange, green, white, and black. We'll see how they turn out. I'm very interested to see how the Pixel is going to be this time around. But overall, I haven't been too big of a fan of their accessories, so I am very curious to see if these have improved over the past Pixel Buds. For $179, they have made huge improvements to it, because I did not like the last ones to spend that much, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, and then final news. A lot of controversy has gone over this with Samsung over the past couple weeks, because a lot of people that got the Exynos International version of the S20 are really upset, are just really upset at Samsung. And let me give you a little background to it. Basically, in the US, and for this time, this year, in Korea, you got the Snapdragon version, the 865 processor. Usually, everywhere but the US got the Snapdragon 865 processor. So that was a big thing that was definitely an issue. And I see my battery on my mic is draining. So after I finish this news, we are going to take a brief intermission. You can ask all your questions, and I'm going to change out the batteries on my wireless mic. So with the Exynos version, what happened was that the Exynos version is doing very poorly. It overheating more so. It really drains quicker on battery. It's not as fast performance as 865. What Samsung has said is that they have basically stated that they check everything on Samsung. They make sure that the Exynos 990 and the Snapdragon 855 give you the same performance with everything. They test it out overall, and they're both consistent for what their entire lifespan of the smartphone should be. In reality, a lot of people have tested that and said, no, they're wrong. And Tech just did another test comparing the two, and again, it shows that the Exynos is not on par with the Snapdragon. So let me know what you guys think. I have not got an Exynos version in probably about 3 years at least, if not more, with the Samsung processor. I think maybe 5 years actually since last time I got an Exynos. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. I used to be okay with them. I didn't have an issue with them, but that was when the Exynos were better than they are now. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. All right, guys, now start asking your questions in the comment section down below. I'm going to take a brief, probably 30 seconds pause just to change out the batteries, and then I will answer your questions, all of them that are in the comment section. So start asking them now. All right, guys, now we are all back and set and ready. So let's get to your questions in the comment section down below. Again, if you have any questions you'd like to ask, just ask it in the comment section and I will answer them before the end of the show. All right, let's get some ones out there. Android, I want you back, but no phone got my attention. I had the S20 Ultra, but come on now, Note 20, bring me home. I think the Note 20 has a definite possibility of that. Very interested to see what they're going to bring. Beans. Down Van Nuys. I don't know why that just reminded me of that. Jingle by something in my city. Whoa, a whole bunch of news just loaded, everybody. Yeah, a whole bunch of news just loaded literally right before we got started with everything. That is for sure. And I was really surprised because I was like, man, I got like 2 news articles and they're not that good. And then boom, everything kind of kicked off. Hey Ricky, how are you? Glad to see you again. Hope you and your family are doing well. Keep safe. Yeah, we're pretty much staying inside. The other day, I had to help my brother move some stuff, and it was the first time I went out in like a week. Like I had not been outside, literally for any reason. I had literally been in my house for over a week without ever leaving it. So that was, I mean, he lives 5 minutes away, so it's pretty okay. And then, it's something that very kind of restrictive. My wife and daughter kind of went out more than I do. They at least go play a little bit while I'm at work and just literally here working on my computer at my current job. So yeah, it is a definite big thing when it comes to that. So very curious to see how it'll all turn out. But yeah, I'm here with you guys basically. Looks like a hearing aid. Yep, someone else said it. A whole bunch of germs loaded. Hopefully not. Um, Apple buys Dark Sky. I heard that. So Dark Sky is. I just thought that was kind of interesting because I think another YouTuber put it best. It was like the most surprising thing about Apple buying Dark Sky is people are paying for weather apps. I do not understand that. I don't understand that. I get it's a beautiful looking app and it gives you all this kind of cool stuff, but I have never had a problem with any of the weather widgets that I've had and the information that I've gotten. I even have a setup for if this then that IFTTT um, that basically tells me if the next day is going to rain. So, for instance, I knew today was going to have some showers tonight because it told me yesterday. So, like, I've never had any issue with weather, but yeah, it bought it. That's cool. Um, are there any Qi car chargers that will work with Android Auto? Because it's because it has to be plugged into USB unless you know a way to connect it via Bluetooth. So you can connect it via Bluetooth if your device supports it and if your car system supports it. So unfortunately, it's not with all of them. We have talked with Pioneer, and unfortunately, it will take longer because of everything going on. Especially Los Angeles is one of the cities on lockdown right now. But we're going to be reviewing their new system, and their system, for instance, supports the wireless connection. Now, all you have to have is a device that has Android 10 and up, and it will also support the wireless connection on the phone side. So if you have the phone side and if you have the car side support it, then you're all set. But of course, older car models would not support it because they would have an older version unless they throw out a software update to improve it. Um, it's pretty cool of your V-shape Vegeta haircut. Yes, I've always had the V-shape, and I never got told about what that V-shape meant as much as when I started a YouTube channel. The Dracula, the vampire, the Vegeta, which I like the best, of course, the Vegeta comparison. But yes, believe me, when I started a YouTube channel, everyone pointed out my Widow's Peak. That, of course, just everyone had to tell me. So yeah, it was a definite. I had never noticed it as much as when I started a YouTube channel for sure. Good and the bad. Sorry, my eyes just got really dry. I have some fans going on, and I think that's why they just got really dry. Um, Sanitize your phones. Yep, if you guys saw my video, I have been using the black light every once in a while. I'll disconnect it right now. Have been using the black light every once in a while with this. Just use the UV. Sanitize your phones. Simple, easy. I really like it. We have it on our Whitestone Dome glass video. The link for it, I think it was like 15 bucks. And I'm sure there's other ones out there too. Anchor Sound Liberty Air 2 sucks for noise canceling. Yeah, noise canceling when it comes to calls is probably the thing that I don't think any true wireless headphones has gotten down yet. My Xbox resolution looks bad for the video. I'm not sure. Does anyone else have a bad resolution for the video? Let me know. What did you think about WrestleMania this year? I thought they did the best with what they could. I thought there were some dumb decisions in terms of the booking. Namely, the biggest one I would say was definitely Becky and Shayna. Shayna should have won. It was Asuka all over again. You have a great NXT person who could give you a year's worth of great new challenges and content if they win the title, and instead you back up 4 horsewomen and bury what NXT had to offer. So I think that was a big thing. I knew Charlotte was going to win because I knew it was definitely going to have her go to Wednesday nights for a ratings boost. So yeah, so that's what I figured. So that's how I felt about it. Best match of everything, I truly do believe, was the Graveyard match. I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was a great addition to WrestleMania. And I think it is so good that it was 2 nights because that was a perfect ending. But Drew McIntyre should have been the ending, of course, for overall WrestleMania. And lastly, I feel that the funniest line of the entire 2 shows, was easily "You can look, but you can't touch." When Bray Wyatt said it, hilarious. All right, sorry, enough wrestling, but I do like to answer every question that gets asked. Those beans look like you'll have them surgically removed. I know, right? Like I can't get it out I can't get it out. I can't pop them out to actually get the. That is actually kind of true. It might be hard to get out when you're trying to remove it. Let's wait and see. Apple glasses, but they will still find a way to put an Apple logo on them. Of course they will. The Apple logo will probably be like on the little back part right here. Um, uh, Ryan and Jeff Lutz accident on Street Outlaws. I'm not sure what you mean by that. And maybe also just wanted to say thanks you guys for coming out and having a great time. Yeah, thank you, Quiet Storm. Wait, Scouters are coming soon? Oh God. I don't know why a tech company doesn't do this. A Kickstarter company should do this. Heck, if I knew someone that could do augmented reality, the software side, I would help start this company. Do Scouters. It's very easy. Just do Scouters. That's all you need to do. And then like come to, I don't know who owns Dragon Ball Z now. If it's still Toonami or what, but just go to them and be like, look, here's free money. Just let us make these. And that's all you need to do. People will buy them if they look high quality, if they are high quality, and if they look like it did, they will buy them. Let's see. Same thing as Bluetooth headsets. Nobody walks around with. Now you see the Otis. You say the glasses will replace smartphones in 29 or 30. They might have phones like sci-fi holographic system design. I believe that's a lot further off. That's the thing. I believe that's when smartphones will make a comeback, in a sense, when you can get smartphones that do holographic 3D vision, all that kind of stuff. But I believe smartphones will go away, and then they'll make a comeback. I truly do believe that as we get, more rollable, bendable, and all that kind of stuff, as we get stuff that are smaller in our pocket, then they can expand. That will be kind of a cool thing. But then, if you have everything with an all-day battery life on your face, because it no longer needs to have this high brightness level screen that drains your battery like crazy. It just needs to be able to project something clearly in front of you. That's a lot less battery drainage that you're going to have. So as you start getting those, and then augmented reality can allow me to have a 100-inch screen on this wall right over here. And yeah, then why would I want a little 7-inch display? That is what I think will happen eventually. Let's see. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everybody drink. Let's see. I wish I could disable YouTube stories. Not the many people fan, huh? YouTube needs a lower prices on YouTube TV. I think YouTube TV would be fine with price if it had more channels, but YouTube TV needs more channels. I currently use Sling TV. I went from DirecTV Now, which then turned into AT&T Now, and I moved to Sling TV because it was a better price for what I needed. So I ended up going to them. But I would totally go to YouTube TV if they just had more channels, but YouTube TV just has such a limitation on channels in comparison to Sling TV. But they have a lot more subscribers, so we'll have to wait and see. Glasses won't replace phones. We'll see. We'll be dead before glasses replace smartphones. Hopefully not. Rigsby technology equipped with full mobile glasses. There you go. I heard Rigsby is working on a cure. If only. Pixel buds look fugly. Apple glasses better be Men in Black memory wipe proof. That would be hilarious. Something flashes to you instead when you're wearing them, and then you get your memory wiped. Have you seen the Galaxy Bean Buds? Yeah, that'll be very interesting. Missed the beginning, yeah. I did talk about the Bean Buds. You say that the Fold Note, they should call it the Note. They should call it a tablet, not a note, if it's going to be bigger. I'm fine with either way. I think that you get called the Note if you have an S Pen, unless you're the S series, on tablets. But we'll have to wait and see. I think because it's still bendable, you want to make sure that people know it is as small as a smartphone when it bends. So we'll have to wait and see. We haven't had a Note tablet named Note in 3 years, I want to say. Maybe longer. Sprint and T-Mobile are finally together. Yes, they are, but I believe the bigger news is John Legere is no longer CEO. That is going to really be interesting to see how well T-Mobile will do now. I'm also very interested, so one thing I cannot tell yet is when will the 5G spectrum merge? Because there are phones like, I know the OnePlus McLaren actually has mid-band on it. So it actually does have the Sprint band built into here. But it's not activated. I want to know when that 5G crossover is going to be activated. LTE should be activated now, really. If your smartphone supports both, then it should already be activated. But the 5G has not crossed over, and I've had no one been able to tell me when that will happen, because that is a really big feature that I can't wait for. I feel like Samsung will bamboozle us. I do feel that the Exynos was for sure, I guess, not what it was before. Feels like I'm going to have to skip the Note 20 unless things start normalizing. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really don't want to spend anything. Like, I want to upgrade my tablet right now because I can get the if I trade in my S4, I can get the S6 for about a little just around 300. So that's a really good deal for the trade-in and the discount they have right now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I will have to. Or sorry, I don't know if I'll have to, but I don't know if I should right now. I don't feel like I should spend any money right now. So yeah. And plus I haven't done my taxes yet. Hopefully I'll get to do them next weekend, so I'll be able to tell how things are going to go payment-wise for those. I know they're not due till June, but if you can pay them sooner, why not? Or if you get money returned, of course, that's always nice too. I've always had to pay because YouTubers always have to pay. Fun fact, maybe you didn't know. Feels like I'm going to have to, oh yeah. Did anyone apply for unemployment? I wonder if anyone did. I luckily haven't had to yet, but that's crazy. It was 3 million 2 weeks ago, and that was huge. Then 6 million this past week. That's scary. We went up 3 million in a week. It's definitely scary. What other shows you wanted to put in the list of the Disney Plus binging? Um, that's a Raven I wanted to put in there. Goof Troop was one that kept going in and out. Ultimately, I think Smart Guy took its place. Um, and then I don't know. There were some others, but yeah, the movies one should be coming this week. I'm just trying to get some more video ones up too as well. Sorry, regular tech videos up. Let's see. I have a Samsung A50 international version. Still no Android 10 update, but the other A50 and A30 have it. Will all A50 get the update? Yes, they all eventually do get the update, but it does get longer to push out. One thing I would say, I don't know if you can still do it, but check to see if you have Samsung. I think it's still supported. Samsung Smart Switch for a PC or a Mac. If you can download that still, you could usually manually update international versions. So check to see if you can do that. um, so my Widow's Peak, better than a notch. Excuse my language, a good notch. Better than a hole punch hair. That is true. I guess it's better than a hole punch hair. And then someone else said, actually, Ricky has a teardrop notch. I technically do have a little teardrop notch. I guess that's the closest thing to it. Wide angle, as you can see the size of my head. Let's see. The test on the Exynos versus Snapdragon isn't clear whether the Exynos is optimized mode or full power mode. Got it. So maybe it's not necessarily, but I mean, so many people have complained about it, so I'm not sure how it'll be. I'm sorry, I don't get the Tiger King. I refuse to see it. It's just I am very much not a reality show person, which is funny because I put a lot of my life on the screen. But I am not a reality show person. I like very few of them. The few that I like is like what me and my wife got into, which she was already into, was Top Chef. So that is one that I watch reality show wise. But I really just do not care for reality shows. Sometimes they can be fun, and I'll watch an episode here and there. But like I can't deal with the housewives and, what is it, Black Ink or Ink New York or, all these different reality shows. I can't. Hip Hop and Love and Hip Hop. Um, there's so many, and they got the husbands of like all these different shows. I don't get them. What's the big one that the 90-day fiance thing? I think those are the stupidest things ever. And I'm a person that met people online. I would never travel internationally for people that met online, but it was just really wow, yeah. So yeah, I'm not into. I did see like reviews of Tiger King. So I saw reviews of like Jeremy Johns, Nerdist, and all these ones. So I get what the whole thing was about. And my wife told me some of the highlights too. But yeah, it's not for me. Who here was into Tiger King? Let me know in the comment section. Um, why can't it be the Fold 2? It definitely might be the Fold 2. I just think they might want to highlight that it has a pen. Tell us what's being to have the Note 20. Um, right now, the Note 20, they're trying to fix the camera. That's the main thing that I've heard that they're mainly working on, but I don't know what else besides that. Let's see. There were so many great shows in that list, so much nostalgia, definitely nostalgia. And that's the whole thing, because like there was good shows that were recent, I would say. I actually thought for movies wise, one thing that didn't make it into my list for the movies was the Descendant movies. I actually thought those were pretty good, and the zombie movies. Those were recent Disney movies. But I think most people who have kids and that have Disney Plus have already seen that a bajillion times because their kids have forced them to see it. So I was trying to go for ones that are further back that maybe you haven't seen or you haven't seen since you were a kid and your kids have never seen. So that's what I guess I was going more so for with that. Let's see. Are you going to remove the notch? Are they going to remove the notch on the next iPhone? No. The iPhone will have the same size notch, not even a smaller one. The Rigsby Show, like the Truman Show, but with more tech. That would be awesome. I would love to live in the Truman Show, even though that would mean that everyone around me was actually being fake. I always wondered, how would they fake having a baby? Like, how then would the baby have to be in on it, or what? Like, there's something there. There's a lot of questions there, because the baby wouldn't be an actor. um, HGTV shows are all right. I actually do watch HGTV shows. Sorry, I do watch HGTV shows for sure. Some of the Flip or Flop, I liked that show a lot. And yeah, the HGTV shows we watch every once in a while. Sometimes I'm not too big again into the competition ones, but yeah, HGTV shows. We were watching a lot of them before we bought a house for sure. Love and Hip Hop, less than Tech and Love, of course. My wife is better looking than every girl in Tech and Love anyway. Um, Don't forget to tune in to the new hit series 50 First Date Questions all season coming soon. Yes. So thank you, MFX, for reminding us to always plug in our 50 First Date Questions. If you don't know, 50 First Date is the app that I created. It is a great game for playing with your significant other, or if you're on a first date with someone, or if you just want time to kill and you're very interested in checking it out. It's a great game to play. I think a lot of people have really liked it, and definitely one that you can do while keeping your social distancing, depending on if you get the dare question and what you do from there. But really fun. I think a lot of people have said they liked it, and thank you for everyone that has downloaded it and that has said some kind things. Wrong one. All right. Apple to enhance keychain in iOS 14. Yes, and they're also going to add the trackers. Those like, oh god, what's it called? I've put it, the things you put into your suitcase to like keep track of it, and they also for the wallet Tile. They're going to have their own version of Tile coming soon. Hi, Ricky. Could you tell me why the S20s have to be so dang expensive when you have phones like the ME10 Pro and other 865 phone, way cheaper phones? Hate the price. So, a couple of reasons. One is greed. So let's get that out of the way. Greed is definitely a reason for that. Two, 5G antennas are separate from the Snapdragon 865 processor. So you can have an 865 processor and not have a 5G antenna. So 5G antenna is the other reason, because you need 4 of them on average on your smartphone. And then the other reason for the S20 Ultra specifically is the telephoto zoom lens, which again kind of sucks because it had a lot of issues, and I I really will say that I'm disappointed in the zoom on my regular S20 Plus compared to the Ultra. The Ultra was a lot better with zoom quality. So yeah, that there is the reasons why. A lot of it has to do with the 5G antennas, and then a lot of it has to do with zoom. But the biggest reason is greed. So yeah, those are the reasons. Samsung did not sell well at these prices, and they are dropping the price as we speak. Let's go ahead and actually see if they have dropped the other two. So last week when we checked the pricing out for Samsung, they were at a price point of $799 for the Galaxy S20. So let's see what the pricing currently is. So the S20 is still $799. The S20 Plus is $999. The S20 Ultra has not changed price. So that is something that the S20 Ultra hasn't changed price. But the S20 and the S20 Plus are both $200 drop. I do believe that the Ultra sold the best from what all the reports we heard was in the beginning. I'll put a link in the description just so you guys can see it. But yeah, so Samsung has already dropped price. $799 should have been the price point originally of the S20 5G. S20 Plus should have been what it now is, which is at $999. I think that's a much more reasonable price for that phone. And I think the S20 Ultra should still drop down to $1,200. So far, it has not dropped down, but we'll have to wait and see. By the way, these are the US versions of the phone, so you're going to get all the updates just like you would normally. Let's see. Are 5G routers a thing yet? No, they will be coming this year, though. We saw them from both D-Link and what was the other one? I think it was Netgear that we saw at CES, but definitely from D-Link. So those are coming. We're definitely getting 5G routers, but they will be coming this year as carriers get it more. T-Mobile is going to launch a 5G in-home service for your internet soon. They've been testing it out, and with the dual bands of both mid-band and low-band 5G from T-Mobile, you're definitely going to see that take over. And I, for one, am very interested of that because I do not like the current internet I have, which is Spectrum, and I would be very happy to leave them for a better service if that's what I get. WrestleMania felt weird this year. Definitely. I will say it absolutely felt weird. It didn't feel like regular WrestleMania, but I do think it felt better than every other show they put on, and I think the pre-recorded matches are really good, actually. I think they should do that more during this time. And while I am at give this video to watch Ricky made about great games I play during this day and time. Thank you, Quiet Storm, for pushing that. Yeah, we did do a 15 best Android games of all time on the channel. I really do love all of them. Those are the games that I play and always go back to like 2 years later. Like I hadn't played What the Hen. That was one game that I mentioned on that video. And I started playing it again, and now I'm addicted to it again. So all these games you can pick up and totally get addicted to and totally have a lot of fun with. How could Samsung send out such a revolutionary phone with such half-baked cameras? Was really hoping to be better than thanks again. I agree with that. I do think that they kind of did it before they could have, for sure. I really thought that it would have just been better if they had done it. But they really, the camera software was the biggest issue, and they didn't get it. I don't know if the people just ran out of time software-wise, and Samsung was like, we're not pushing back the date. So yeah, it happened, and I don't think it should have the way it did. Going back to nostalgia, have you seen the new DuckTales? What do you think of it? I've only seen a little bit of it. I don't like the voices. And it's something that you can't really get around. I don't really care for the voices. I think the kids sound weird. I think they sound more like teenagers or adults than kids. But yeah, I really don't like the voices as much. That's my opinion on it. DuckTales did not make it to the top 15 shows, but there is one great movie of DuckTales, and that you might see on the movie video coming up. Totally agree with your answer. Greed is the name of the game, and it shuts and such same. Yes. Let's see. Anyone try out AT&T fiber optic internet? I have not tried out Uverse. I've just never been in an area that provided it. I loved my old one, although they had a lot of issues during the transfer. I used to have Verizon Fios, which then became Frontier Fios in Los Angeles. And I loved Verizon Fios. I thought it was really good, and I speak that as a person that's left Verizon wireless service a long time ago. But Verizon Fios was really good, very good quality. When Frontier took over, had some issues with them. Overall, though, still good and way better than what I have now with Spectrum. So, in my opinion, I would probably personally pick Verizon, Frontier, or AT&T Uverse over, or fiber optic AT&T Uverse over Spectrum, at least from my experience. All right. Voices were a problem for you too, but you were able to get past it for the most part. Got it. I really only watched a little bit and then I stopped. Maybe I'll give it another chance. I'm so far behind in so many shows. People always recommend me shows, and I'm just like, I am so far behind in everything show wise. So yeah, I just don't have much time. Like when I get done with work during the week, I maybe eat dinner, maybe not some days. Sometimes I only eat lunch and then just go to sleep. Like I'm so tired. I think it's because my eyes get strained a lot too. All right, guys, I think we will call that a show. Again, if you have any questions to ask, just ask them in the comment section down below, and I will answer it next time before the end of the show. But other than that, I think we're going to start wrapping up. Let me know if you guys have any further questions. But yeah. Other than that, let's see what else is going on this week. Hopefully we'll be doing some news. Let's see. I know the hidden features video is taking longer than I thought. I'm trying not to repeat myself, and I hate because I felt like I was starting to, and I hate a lot of other hidden feature videos that other YouTubers put out there, and they're the same thing every year. And I don't want to be that. So I'm trying to really find some other ones, but we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. But yeah, some pretty good ones for sure coming up soon. All right, guys. With that being said, some other case videos as well too. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done. Thank you guys for always tuning in. I really appreciate it. Who knows where everything's going to take us, but at least we can hopefully always count on Mobile Weekly coming every Sunday and us getting to hang out and talk about some tech. Thank you guys always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.